Mr. White, you have summoned Ms. Loving to court to prove you did not father her 5-month-old daughter, Loyal.
Yes.
You've brought a witness to court today who believes he is the baby's father.
Correct.
Ms. Loving, you admit that Mr. White wasn't your only sexual relationship, but say you can prove he is Loyal's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. White, explain to me your relationship with Ms. Loving.
I mean, Your Honor, we never did have a relationship. Like, for 4 years, I known Tiana. We were good friends, but we were never in a relationship, Your Honor.
But you had a sexual relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
Going on dates.
Correct.
Meeting his mom, calling
Correct.
his mom.
Correct.
You're calling my mom. I'm
Correct.
meeting your brothers. I took you to a family reunion.
Correct.
But I'm not your girlfriend.
Correct. That's it. We had an understanding,
what you
though.
call that.
It's still an understanding.
What is that?
It was. What is it? But what did you call it, though? It wasn't no relationship.
Okay, so
Mr. White,
That's not a
you're
relationship.
doing all that, but she's not your girlfriend.
Correct.
right.
Please.
Correct.
But clearly you were in a sexual relationship.
Correct, yeah,
Were you
yeah.
using protection?
No.
No, ma'am.
So
No,
you're
ma'am.
sleeping with a girl
with no
unprotected
protection,
that's
but
not
your girlfriend.
Correct.
Okay.
Wow.
Correct.
I don't know
What is
what.
So take me to this point where you realize she's pregnant. How do you find out?
If I can recall, I was at work, Your Honor, and then she had told me she was pregnant, and so, you know what I'm saying, so when I got off work, I went over there.
Wow.
At the end of the day, Your Honor, you know what I'm saying, I'm asking, I'm the only possibility. She like, yeah.
I did say
So
yes.
I'm like,
I said
so-
yes.
Correct, Your Honor. She said yes.
So she says you're the only possible father.
Yes.
Do you believe that when she says it?
No, man, I didn't believe that, but I'm still trying to get her the benefit of the doubt because we were good friends, Your Honor. But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm going to be there because I know I had unprotected sex.
But you
know what I'm
wasn't
saying?
there. You wasn't there,
Correct,
though.
correct. Why I'm gonna
As
be
a
there?
friend. As a friend, you still wasn't there.
Correct, Your Honor.
What reason would you have not to believe her?
Because we already had a talk, Your Honor. This supposed to been a one-time thing. Remember, we just started back talking when I doubled back, Your Honor. You feel what I'm saying? We just started back talking.
This wasn't a one-time thing. Prior to that, we were still around each other.
Okay, we was around, but we hanging every day.
No, it wasn't
We
every
took
day,
a
but
break.
we was
We didn't see each other for a year. and some
okay.
change, correct?
You're right, but we was
Correct.
still in contact. We was still chilling.
That's correct.
Okay,
And so
We just seen
throughout
each other.
the entire pregnancy, Ms. Loving, you told Mr. White that he was the only possible
not
father.
throughout the whole pregnancy.
You didn't. When did you tell him otherwise?
I told him on Facebook in August that it was a 50-50 chance.
Your Honor, I never knew there was a 50-50
Yes,
chance,
you
Your
did,
Honor.
because when you
Listen,
came to
this
the
how it was,
hospital,
Your Honor.
Will, I showed you the message. I showed you the message. He
Listen,
came to
Your
the
Honor, this how
hospital
it
when
went,
Loyal
Your
was
Honor.
born. I showed him the message.
Correct.
That was a
Your Honor, this
50-50
how-
chance.
Your Honor, listen,
Your
Your Honor,
Honor,
I can't-
why tell one man that that's a 50-50 chance and not tell the other?
Yes.
I'm going to tell both.
Correct. Your Honor,
I
listen.
want to understand this.
Yeah.
Take me to the day she gave birth.
The day she gave birth, Your Honor.
You went to the
I
hospital.
went up there. Before I went up there, I got a DNA test, Your Honor. Left the DNA test in the car because I ain't want to bring it up there because I ain't know who was up there. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't want to be rude because we're going to be in my
That was
hand.
rude anyways, Will, for you to even do that. That was inconsiderate. I just
listen,
had birth.
How can it be rude when you don't know who your baby daddy
What you
is?
mean? Okay, I told you.
I mean,
it was
I gotta
it was
know.
a 50-50
I gotta know.
chance. Okay.
I gotta know.
It was a 50-50 chance.
But I gotta know though.
But why?
I gotta
why
know.
when I had birth?
Because I'd be taking care of another man's baby.
But I didn't pin it on you, though. I
So
never pinned it on
so
you.
young,
I don't want you to take care of my baby.
Let's get some order.
All right, yeah.
Let's get
She's
some
good.
order. Let's get some order.
see that?
I
She's
need
good.
you all
She's
to
beautiful.
talk
Ma'am, she's
one
beautiful.
at a time.
She is beautiful.
I want to understand your testimony. You're saying, Mr. White, that you bought a DNA test
Correct.
and had it in your car.
Correct.
And you brought it up to the hospital the day that Loyal was born because you wanted to know on that day whether this
I
child
walked
was
in the room,
yours.
hey, how y'all doing? Miss Brennan like, damn, Will, you look different. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, what you mean, Miss Brennan, I look different? She's like, you just look different. I said, why you saying that, Miss? I need to take off these glasses. She's like, nah, it ain't the glasses. I said, why you saying that? Because the baby don't look like me? She was like, you damn sure don't.
So they're examining you.
Yeah, correct.
But did you bring the DNA test into the room?
No, ma'am, I did not. I wanted to do it, but I didn't do it. You feel what I'm saying? I just wanted to have respect. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't know who was in the room. Remind you, Tiana just passed me the baby, so I'm looking at the baby, you know what I'm saying? Looking at the baby, trying to see what's going on.
And when you looked at the baby, did you feel like it was your
No,
child?
ma'am. She was beautiful, though, but no, ma'am, I didn't.
Okay. And so then did you ever ask Ms. Loving, I want to do this DNA test, I have it in the car?
I said, I got the DNA test in the car, you know what I'm saying? Y'all still want me to go get it? Ms. Brennan was like, yeah. I ain't hear Tiana say nothing, so I repeated it. You feel what I'm saying? I was like, you still want me to go get the test? She said, no, bro. She
I
said,
said
no.
no.
She said, no. I said, why not? She said, cuz them tests don't work or whatever.
Oh, my God.
No, you didn't?
No, I didn't. Well, I didn't want to do a DNA test because I just had a baby, bro. What you mean?
What that mean?
I just pushed out a 6-pound baby.
And who your baby daddy?
Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let's calm down.
She yelling. I'm right beside her.
So you've never had a chance to perform the home DNA test you brought to the hospital?
No, ma'am.
When you left the hospital that day, You did not know for certain if you were the child's father.
No, ma'am, I did not. I'm like, why you didn't tell me it was a 50% chance? She was like, I did tell you that. I did tell you that. I'm like, Tiana, well, you feel what I'm saying? Where you tell me that? You never told me that. She was like, I told you on Facebook. I'm like, on Facebook? I'm like, Tiana, first of all, bro, I ain't looking at no message on Facebook.
We didn't have each other's numbers, so how can I call you?
Correct. We didn't have each other's numbers, Your Honor. We didn't.
She sent you a Facebook message.
Yeah. She was saying.
Sent him a message saying there was a 50-50 chance between him and another guy.
Your Honor, I never knew about the other
That's
fella.
not true.
Why is it you picked that moment to tell him it was a 50?
On Facebook.
Because I had 2 different conceptions dates, Your Honor.
I want to hear from your witness. Ma'am, please stand and step up to the podium. You are Ms. Loving's mother.
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, what is your understanding?
Well, my understanding, I've always believed that Mr. White was my granddaughter's father. I know Mr. White and my daughter, I believe they were in a relationship because they were always together. He was at my house or she was at his house, and, you know, me and his mother, you know, we talk all the time. He called me mom. She called his mother mom, you know. One thing about Mr. White, you know, very respectful young man. You know, I love him. He used to get on my daughter, you know, about the way she talked to me. And I just looked at him like he's a wonderful man. So, yeah, that's why I believe that Mr. White was my granddaughter's father.
All right. Ms. Loving, you got a conception date.
Yes.
During your first appointment.
Yes. I went to a recovery center when I found out I was first pregnant because I decided that I didn't want to have my baby. So basically, this is the center that basically helps you cope with the situation. But instead, they gave me a conception date, and they talked me into keeping my baby because they gave me an ultrasound. I heard her heartbeat, and I couldn't do it anymore.
And when you got that conception date, it leaned towards there were 2 men in the picture.
Exactly. When I got the first conception date, it pointed to Mr. White. I followed up on the OBGYN, and they gave me another conception date. So that puts me in the middle with 2 guys.
They then did the calculation and gave you a new conception date.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that conception date clearly pointed to a certain man?
Yes.
Which one?
Mr. Talbert.
Oh. So when you got the second conception date, you said it brought Mr. Talbert into the picture as a potential father, and yet you're saying today Mr. White is your child's father.
I'm confused about both.
Yeah.
So you are, in fact, confused,
Right.
and you really don't know which man.
Exactly.
I'd like to hear from your witness, sir. Please stand, ma'am. Ms. White.
Yes.
You are Mr. White's mother?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You have doubt as well?
I do. For one, Your Honor, my family has 6 fingers. My grandmother have it. He had it. My other son had it, and my other son's son have it. And to me, she don't look like my son. I mean, she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She's beautiful.
Yes,
and
she is.
everything. Yeah. My son right here, the only reason why he took the DNA there, Your Honor, is because from day one, we want to know so we can do what we have to do. My son is very responsible. He's been worried, stressed about it. You know, he want to know. If this is his, we refuse to have ours out there, you know, without us doing anything for her. I mean, why refuse the test? If I know you my baby daddy, you better swab it, baby.
I didn't
swab it.
I didn't
if I have a
refuse the
problem,
test.
if I have a problem, if I have a problem with that, if I was her and I just pushed the baby, what do me pushing the baby have to do with my DNA?
I didn't refuse it. I didn't refuse it.
If she,
you want to DNA test?
Let them speak.
Let's get some order.
if she was worried about it, Your Honor, call the nurse in. Ask the nurse, could she do the swab for her? You know.
Your point is if this is my child's father, and I know this, and even if I don't, even if it's still between two potential people, if I can get this doubt out of the way and make sure it's still medically safe for my newborn baby to be swabbed, ask the nurse, get it done, send out for the results, it's over. When she didn't want to take the test that day, that just further fueled your doubt. So, Mr. White, you say you have a witness that says he's this child's father. Jerome, please escort Mr. White's witness into the courtroom.
Congratulations, bro.
Mr. Talbert?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
You realize we're talking about the paternity as it relates to 5-month-old baby Loyal?
Yes, ma'am.
You have had a sexual relationship with Ms. Loving, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you believe you're Loyal's biological father?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. So why do you believe this?
Well, me and Miss Loving, We actually were in a relationship. The relationship was short, about 2 weeks. But over time.
It only takes a day.
Over time, you know, we were
So
friends.
you were in a sexual relationship?
Yes.
In the window of conception?
Yes. I have some evidence here. I got a picture.
Yes, I'd like to see that. What is this, sir?
This is her baby picture.
And that's a picture of you as a baby on the left, and that's Loyal on the right.
Yes.
And you believe you look alike?
Yes.
At what point did she tell you she was pregnant?
About 4 to 5 months down the line.
Which lines up with your testimony, Ms. Loving, because you say the first conception date clearly pointed to Mr. White, but then when you went to the doctor later on, it established that there was potentially Mr. Talbert as another possible father.
Correct.
Because the conception date changed.
Correct.
So when you got this news, did she tell you you were one of 2 people that could be the father? She did?
Yes.
And were you happy about this news?
Well, I was kind of excited, but at the same time, I wasn't, you know, I didn't know for sure if it was going to be mine or someone else's.
So how involved have you been in Loyal's life? She's 5 months old.
I came home a week after the baby was born.
Okay.
And my family members were showing me pictures of her, and they were saying that she looked like me.
Okay. Now that she's 5 months, have you seen her?
Yes.
Have you held her?
Yes.
Have you spent time with her?
Yes.
Have you helped support her?
Nah. Well, it wasn't like that, though. You know, she already had everything. I asked her if she's straight. She said, I'm good.
He asked you if you needed help with the baby. And you said, no, I'm fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, did you say that because you really were fine, or did you say that because you thought Mr. White was the child's father and you wanted him to help?
I was really fine. I was okay. Loyal's good. She don't need nothing.
Ms. Loving, when you looked at this evidence that Mr. Talbot presented and you saw those pictures, did that change your mind, or you still believe Mr. White is your grandchild's father?
When I look at them pictures up there, Your Honor, she does look like him. But like I always said, I believe that Mr. White was the father because that's the one that
she wants to be the father.
No, it's not that I want him to be the father.
Why do you say that?
She knew how I felt about him, and she likes him. She wants us to be together. Like, she really likes him. And that's where we fall out about, because at the end of the day, you don't know the situation between me and him, so you can't just go off of what you see.
I mean, to be a mother, we have hopes and dreams for our children. And if it was somebody that I hoped and dreamed to marry my daughter, it would have been him. You know, he never disrespected me like some of the people she's been around, and I just loved him. His mother did a great job raising him.
You understand that has no bearing on the biology? Or,
no, I know that.
I think
Mr.
it's
White.
clear that you hope that this is Mr. White's child because of the way you feel about him and what you feel like he would be in your grandchild's life. A good father, a stand-up guy, maybe even marry your daughter. But understand that there are hopes, there are dreams, and then there is DNA.
Yeah.
We have the results for you. In the case of White, Talbot versus Loving, when it comes to 5-month-old Loyal Loving, it has been determined by this court. Loyal's biological father is Mr. Talbot. Congratulations, sir.
Appreciate it.
Are you glad to know the truth?
I am.
Mr. White, your assertion was true. But I do have to say this. I appreciated the fact that you were still present on the day Loyal was born.
Right.
You still took it upon yourself to try to solve an issue.
Right.
That really was separating you from bonding with this child. You tried to do what was right. Ms. Loving, are you glad to know the truth?
I'm glad to know the truth, too. I don't really know Mr. Talbot.
Well, you'll get to know him now.
And, you know, one thing that I did ask him when he came to visit Loyal, if she's your child, what are you going to do? That's what I asked him.
And what was his answer? I'd like to know the answer to that question as well. Since she is your child, what are your plans?
Stepping up and being a father and making sure I'm there for her.
Good.
You know, I have another 3-year-old, and she likes babies. You know, so I want them to raise, and I got a big family, you know, and I got a lot of nephews and nieces. And when I show them pictures of her, they're like, oh, I want to meet her and do. But my sister turn around and say, well, you got to get the DNA first, and got to do this, got to do that. So that's why I made it something on my own to go see the baby. And I do see us potentially getting together and being a family.
And on that positive note, I will say court is adjourned. Good luck to all of you.